Good afternoon, everyone. This is just going to be a quick video update for all of you members of 6115, both active and inactive, as it were, right now. I know it's been around roughly a little over 2 months now that a lot of us that have been laid off have been on the layoff status. I apologize to everyone for how rough out of the gate it was when it came to unemployment, sub pay, benefits, transitioning to that, and we were told a lot of things from the company and from the state and from just all of the information that we were getting. It was kind of a learning experience for a lot of us here at the local that I've never had to go through a layoff like this. A lot of learning experience from the company side as well, and a lot of it from the state. There was some of the meetings that we had with Deed that some information would come through there, and a lot of us had started our applications a little bit early, but I believe now we've worked through a lot of those kinks, and will say this: I appreciate the company and the state as well as the union working closely together to try and make sure no one's unemployment was negatively affected in a way where people were going to be up against a wall without getting benefits for their families. So I apologize for that bumpy ride into this. It's not fun, it's not exciting, it's not happy, but I think that now on the unemployment side of things, for people claiming benefits and whatnot, we should be in a better place. As always, please contact me directly, text or call, about anything to do with your unemployment benefits. I can forward that to the company. I can also reach out to the director of the unemployment insurance, and we can try work through anything that any issue that arises inside your plan, so it doesn't mess up the application any further, delay your benefits longer than they should be. I have this video. This might be longer. I tried to separate two videos because there's some people that just want to hear the benefit side. Some people want to hear from me personally. And so this one might be a little bit longer, but I just want to give you an update on to what I've been up to, what the local has been up to for the last couple of months, to try and make sure that we're honoring the oaths of office and making sure that our contract is being met. I am still continuing to be active in the role of president. I have been in constant communication with the company as much as possible, requesting as much information as I possibly can, doing info requests, and actively listening to every single piece of media that I can related to Cleveland Cliffs, U.S. Steel, Nippon Steel, and so on and so forth, and also following Federal Reserve policy and geopolitics, as unfortunately all of those things affect us up here on the Iron Range and affect us right now at Minorca, as we're at the mercy of just the economy and just where pellets and how they can get shipped. So I've been constantly for the last couple of months working on all those things in tandem with trying to make sure people's benefits are not monkeyed with or not messed up based off of just anything that can happen, whether this question was answered or the state got this wrong or the company did or the union did. So there's multifactorial with benefits and whatnot, but it's been a busy couple of months, and that's okay. I kind of anticipated that as we were going into this layoff, and that's my job. You guys elected me to be the man in the arena for you. You elected me to be your representative, and I have every intention of continuing to represent all of you, both active and inactive, and try to put your guys' best interest in every single action that I take. That all being said, there's a lot of different things that are currently at play here in Minnesota and nationally that affect us in mining. There's some permitting things that are going on when it comes to sulfate standards, also other types of permitting structures in Minnesota that are governed by the MPCA and the EPA. And I'm here to tell you guys that all of this stuff affects us, our families, our communities. And so I mean, it's encouraging to see that all of the USW presidents up here on the Iron Range are working closely together right now to make sure that our side of the story is being told to those that need to hear it. We are one of the best and most safest units in the world for mining and producing minerals. And a lot of times that gets lost in the shuffle with certain articles and people that have never been up here, that have never seen how we mine rock, and they only see what is put in front of them. And so I'm working very closely with all the other union presidents to try let people see exactly how we mine, and let people see that us as union members are the ones that make sure that the companies and that this permits and the state and the federal level of all regulation is met every single day on shifts. And so That's one of the ventures that I've been on in the recent months, and will be going forward to try and make sure that mining in Minnesota continues, and it will continue for generations to come, because it is our legacy. It's also important for us as a country to maintain that we produce minerals, and the vein is here in northern Minnesota, and it's up to us to make sure that we mine it responsibly and take into consideration all factors and all voices at the table when it comes to mining and being responsible and taking care of the land around us, as all of us have an active interest in. It's been quite the process. It's been rough for the last couple of months, just still thinking and missing Minorca. It's kind of crazy on those night shifts when you're working, and you think it's the worst possible thing that could happen is be on night shift, and then you're 2 months without it. You realize that, you know, Minorca was and still is a fantastic place to work, and a great mine and a great facility, and I firmly believe that at some point we will come back, and that's what I believe. I have received some responses from the company as to where we're at with pellet inventory. I know that was in the WARN notice about oversupply of pellets, and as of the end of July, it would appear that all the stockpiles, the northern stockpile and the southern ones down by the blast furnaces, have consumed around 50% of the inventories at all these different places. I have a little more details on which ones are where and how many are where, but the fact that pellets are moving and moving at that rate that we were getting told from the company, it's, you know, around 12 million tons and the part of the spring, and now we're down to half, is encouraging. It's also encouraging to see that we're quite a ways away from shipping season being closed, and that's one thing that we're going to continue monitoring the blast furnace productions, the car economy, and also just the steel tariffs in general that are on imported steel and flat roll steel, the stuff that we produce. So it is crazy that everything that we just stated, everything in our economy and in global politics and global economies affect us up here. And I mean, it's kind of always been the case, but just to be at the mercy of it right now with a laid off mine and our brothers and sisters over at HibTech being partially idled over there, that we're all sitting here at home just kind of watching the news, waiting for any signs of a timetable for when we can plan to come back. I know I touched on it in the other video, but we did secure that 6-month extension on unemployment benefits. So if this idle does continue into the winter, those unemployment benefits will carry us through the winter. And I believe it should carry us to June of 2026. So it was 6 months, not 13 weeks or anything like that. So I'm very thankful for all the politicians and all of the key players that helped make that happen. And I had stated before, we'll be making a formal thank you to everyone that was involved, and make sure that everyone knows who was there for us at that time and our time right now, as we're heading into fall right now. And so far, other than the pellet production, there hasn't been much for us to look at to signify that we're coming back anytime soon. I have been at the property. I've talked to some of the employees that are still there, trying to make sure that their needs are met, that the local is still defending their rights and making sure that the company is doing everything that they're supposed to be doing, honoring our contract, honoring the MOU, and that will continue to go on. We are still an active local. We still have an active agreement, and we still have a mine that has our union members there, and they still deserve all the rights that are guaranteed them through federal regulation, as well as just the bargain for rights that we have within our contract. I was able to go to Pittsburgh last week. I was reaching out and communicating to both our brothers and sisters over there at Michigan, talking to James Thomas, our 1010 president, our big brother president, as we say, with how close our locals have been historically and how they still are close, based off of just the old contracts and just the agreements for our pellets and their blast furnace. And so we did end up all converging in Pittsburgh and having a meeting with President McCall, and all of us had an opportunity to talk to him directly about issues that are affecting our facilities, whether it was Conshohocken, Weirton, Riverdale, and also Minorca. And I was able to personally talk to him about certain things that were being told to us and certain things that he may not have been aware of as what was going on with our facility. He was aware of a few different things, but there was a few things I was able to bring to his attention that he was able to take notes and was going to talk to Rob Fisher and then get back to us directly with just the issues that were persisting at all these other facilities. It was encouraging, and I was thankful to fly down there even for a quick couple of days just to be able to have that meeting, but it was important to go there and be there face to face and express to him what's been transpiring, what's going on, and our concerns as a local with our facility to make sure that it's viable and it's ready to go at the flip of a switch for when they need our pellets. And so I appreciate the time that he was able to take and make that meeting possible, and look forward to hearing anything that he has for us after talking to Rob Fisher about some of the issues that we're facing here. So that was one thing that just happened last week, and I'll let you guys know as soon as I hear anything back on to anything that he can provide. But the International is being told that as soon as they need our pellets, that we will be back. That is what they're saying in the background, and that's what I'm going to hold to. But I also it's my job to make sure I try to get you guys as much information as possible so that you can plan your lives accordingly. And so I'm going to be constantly, like I stated, watching the news, getting information as much as I possibly can to provide you. I listen to all of the financial earnings from cover to cover, look through all the filings, read them personally. I've been doing a lot of research when it comes to just Cliffs and where they're at financially and their partnerships and their endeavors and investments, and just trying to make sure I connect all the dots that I possibly can so that I can give you guys accurate information at our union meetings and through conversations personally over the phone or in updates like this as much as I possibly can. There is information that I have that I can't put on a video like this for everyone to see, but if you want to hear some more information that I can share with you guys, I will. I just want to be very careful with my words to make sure that I'm not giving inaccurate information, but information that the general public should be able to be aware of. Because I firmly believe that we're all in this together on the Iron Range. We all know this. I think one mining job supports 8 other supporting jobs, and that goes from teachers to fast food to entertainment to suppliers to everything. We're all connected up here, and we are all in this together. And so Minorca being idled, Hibtech being partially idled, and the future of the Nippon U.S. Steel deal all directly will affect on how the Iron Range is going to look going forward, as well as just all the other issues that are in mining's face right now. As it's kind of been in the press, so you guys have probably been able to read some of these different things that have been talked about recently, whether it's Star Tribune, Misabi, all this stuff. There's a lot going on, and I'm going to try to make sure that I get updates to you guys on a monthly basis, so it's not 2 months. I apologize that it's been 2 months since you've heard from me, but I assure you that there are encouraging signs, and I'll leave you with this. The last encouraging sign that I saw was that the company right now is in the process of and communicating with us of bringing back 5 more members. We're working on the scope of work and how long, but these members are going to be addressing certain concerns when it comes to some environmental permits and being proactive and making sure that we honor those permits as was agreed upon. And that is one of our biggest assets is our permits, our structures, both environmental and with the iron reserves in the ground, as well as keeping the facility intact and working on making sure that it can restart. We can come back, do our shutdown, and be producing pellets in relatively short order. So the fact the company is honoring those commitments is huge, and I'm very thankful for that. This is for the rest of you as we're working through different callbacks as the company is obligated to recall people to do work. We're working as a union to make sure they're calling the right people, going off of seniority as much as practical, and our contracts, both historical and current. And I'm very thankful for that. And the fact that the company is working to make sure those permits are honored and that we maintain them is huge. It expresses that this is a valuable facility and that we don't want to be behind the 8 ball or out of compliance with anything because, as I stated before, permitting isn't an easy process. And once you get behind or you lose a permit, it can be years and years in the making. So this is a big development recently. There was the state inspector was through there. And so resulting in making sure that we're honoring these permits. We're recalling around 5 employees. And so, like I said, I don't know how long the scope of work is. I'm working on more details with the company, but it's an important factor to hold on to, that the company still sees the value in Minorca, and that we all know is there, and is making sure that our permits are staying intact. And so that doesn't help with timelines and how long we're going to have to wait before we need our pellets. But it is a good sign, and it is an encouraging sign that this is an asset worth keeping, and this is an asset that is valuable to Cliffs to maintain and make sure that it's able to produce pellets at the drop of a hat. I firmly believe in our future. I stated that earlier, and I firmly believe that at some day we will be back. When that is, I don't know, but I do believe in Minorca. I do believe in our facility. We have a great workforce, and I know that we've lost quite a few employees traveling to outside of the state and moving on, and I wish them all the best and try to keep in communication with all of you guys as much as possible. But for those of us that are going to come back when the call comes, and when I get to inform you guys that we're coming back, and that excitement and that process starts, I can't wait, to be honest. I stated before, it's been tough. It's been tough being on layoff, and all the things that were annoying about night shifts or day shifts or whatever, I'll take those back in a heartbeat, because Minorca is very much a family, and it's been very difficult with everyone being separated. That being said, our local is still active. Our union meeting is always going to be the second Thursday of the month, except for September's. We had made a motion to move that just due to some training that was going on with grievance personnel. But I hope all of you guys are hanging in there, or making decisions in the best interest of your families. And I hope that all of you guys are addressing everything from just the mental health side of things, of losing a job, and just the financial side of things, and working through working through bills and what needs to be done and whatnot. And if you guys ever need anything, whether it's a phone call, someone to talk to, a text, anything, please reach out. And I do apologize for the length of time it gets to get back to some of you. My backlog does get large at times, and it's sometimes a struggle to do all this stuff and then try to get to you guys in a timely manner. But I assure you, if you send me a text that it's urgent or something like that, I'll push it forward in the line of getting back to people and try to get to you as soon as possible, because this is a tough process. We're 2 months into being laid off and still labeled indefinite. And as there are encouraging signs with pellet consumption and permits being honored, and Cleveland Cliffs restructuring as they told us they were going to do, and also looking at us as an asset worth making sure that it's viable. And so I'm going to continue to give you guys updates. Like I said, I try to be at a monthly interval, just so those of you that are at home or far away can watch. But please reach out if you want a conversation about anything that I've stated in this video, and any more information that I haven't given out in this video. I know that there's rumors about our surround property or land swaps and other stuff. I haven't heard or seen anything or been informed of anything that I can share with you guys. But rest assured that our facility has a lot of value to Cleveland Cliffs, and it's valuable to whoever wants to produce pellets within the permit structure and within our facility. So I will talk to you guys all again. I'll keep you guys updated as all the irons in the fire. And as always, hang in there, and we'll be speaking soon. Our next video, actually, before I end this, our next union meeting is August 14th. And I know it's summertime, things are winding down, but I encourage everyone to show up, as we're going to try and make as much decisions as possible, and try make sure that our local is still providing a place where people can come in and feel connected, so that people realize we're still here, our local is still active, and our contract is still viable. So I'll talk to you all soon, and please take care.